Hello there, welcome to video 10 in the Major Scale Mastery playlist. If you're jumping in at this point, do please go back to number 1 and be sure to check the description of each video as you work through the series for other interesting related videos. Each video I'm always explaining maybe something I haven't said in another video which you can apply to another major scale. So do be sure to watch them all. Going around the cycle of fourths, as you probably realised by now, and we just did E. We're now going up a fourth to A, which is actually descending in the cycle of fifths from the F sharp point, if you've been following. We're now in the key of A, which is giving 3 sharps. So as always, likes, comments, subscriptions welcome. Have a look at my books, blog, and podcast, and be sure to press the notification bell. So let's make the scale first and then get the general shape, emotional connections, and patterns. Starting on A. Whole, whole, half. Whole, 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 half. So what sharps do we have here? C sharp, F sharp, G sharp. Keep going over that shape, play it with one finger. Ascending is nice, but do also try to play them descending, because often people are working too often from left to right and you start to construct the scale from the left to the right, and it's kind of cheating. If you do it going down, you really challenge yourself and prove to yourself that you really do know that shape. That will help you to make the 7 notes pop out at you. So doing it descending. It really does help. Now, general shape is quite nice. 2 whites and a black. 2 whites and 2 blacks. So you can find patterns in there. Now for me, A, Revelation, is my least favorite key. E flat is my favorite and A is my least favorite. I don't know why, but it's a very prickly key to me. It's like wearing a woolly jumper, you know, when you're wet or something really uncomfortable like that. It's a very pointy kind of pin needle kind of key. So I very much dislike A major. I also don't like the fingering for the left hand in A major. I hate this bit here. Don't know why. Just absolutely don't like the key of A at all. So my least favorite video of the collection, of the playlist. Nevertheless, has to be done. So patterns, talked about that. Emotional connection, I've shared one. Maybe you have one too. Natural fingering, starting on my thumb in the description box below. Video to my natural fingering on all major scales. Hopefully you'll find it useful, as well as my Dan the Composer piano challenge. Thumb, index, middle, swing under. Thumb, index, middle, ring, swing under. It's nice to do this, as I actually said in the previous video. Try and do it with 2 hands, just find your natural fingering. My F sharp doesn't work, so maybe I won't play the left hand there, because it's a bit strange when the sound doesn't come out. Nevertheless, natural fingering in left hand, right hand, take your time, don't rush. Metronome is useful, as well as eyes closed. Now let's do the jabbing thing to really reinforce that you know the shape randomly within the 12-note block A to A. Well, technically A to G sharp, but 12-note block A to A. So I can see it. Now let's jab this horrible key of A. So although I don't like it, I still can see it, and I can see it in my mind, and I can't possibly play a wrong note. It's simply not possible, because I can see the notes which are necessary. There's no chance that I'm going to play a C or an E flat or an F or a G. It's just no chance. There's your shape. Master it. Now leave the piano. Get it on your internal piano. Walk around. Spend a week with each major scale, however long you need until you move on to the next video, and see it. Name the notes: A, B, C sharp. See them: D, E, F sharp, G sharp. Do it backwards numerically. I can see the 7, it's a G sharp. I can see the 6, the F sharp. I can see the 5, the E, the 4, the 3, the 3 is the C sharp, the 2 is. I can see it in my mind. Get to that point. When you're ready, try and find the major minor triads. In your mind would be good. Otherwise, do it at the piano, and eventually it will be nice and clear in your mind. 1, 3, 5 is the major triad, of course. 1 minor, 1 flat third, in other words. 5 is the minor triad. Let's try the arpeggio thing. We haven't done that for a few videos. That's about the thumb precision on the way up. Instead of sounding like this, like a galloping horse, You want it to be a bit more fluent sometimes when you're performing a piece. So that's only possible by having that thumb precision of an octave. Now let's apply that to the shape of the chords. Let's do a thumb precision. I'm blending two ideas here spontaneously. Let's do the precision exercise. I use the pedal because it just sounds nice. Now let's go to the third. And what would be the fifth? E. So I'm doing two things at once here. I'm reinforcing the shape of the triad and getting some octave precision practice. Let's do the minor, but with my ring finger. So what are we going to go to next? C for the minor, and then the fifth on E. That's quite a nice exercise to blend them together. Now the four primary chord types, you must know them by now. Major 7, dominant 7, minor 7, minor major 7. Now, here's a nice technical exercise which is good for your brain, a bit of brain breaking, is to play different chords in both hands. So maybe alternate between the dominant 7 and major 7, but one hand is doing them with the major third and one is doing them with the minor third. I'll do it here. You can see on the screen well enough. So let's say the left hand is going to do the minor triad, the right hand is going to do the major triad. Forget about the sound; it's going to sound absolutely terrible. But this is a mental exercise to reinforce that you know the shapes without too much conscious interference. An important word. So let's first of all do it with the triads. Now let's alternate. Alternate again. It's a bit of fun. Now let's add the dominant 7 in the left hand with the minor and the major 7 with the major third in the right hand. And if you look at each hand, see, I'm just talking, I'm looking at the screen while this is happening. And if I just take my conscious attention to my left hand, somehow my right hand is just doing what it has to do. There's a complete detachment from the fingers. Sorry, that sounds really dreadful, I'll stop. But when I'm doing it with the right hand, I can see the left hand doing the minor on its own, and I'm focusing on the shape of the right hand. And somehow my left hand just does what it has to do. Really great exercise for hand independence, the illusion of hand independence, and reducing conscious interference, learning to trust your fingers. Let's do my favorite alternating exercise. We'll do the two hands together, a different finger on each hand this time. Let's do the thumb in the left hand and the middle finger in the right hand, descending, ascending. So in other words, it's going to go like the right hand is going, and then the right hand first, left hand second, but ascending. Let's keep going. And now we'll do it ascending, but as we descend, so the left hand first. And this just confirms that you know the shape. I'd like to do that one again. It's a bit better. My fingers were touching sometimes. So that's reinforced that shape. That's quite nice. Let's, what could we do next? There's another exercise. Oh, it's the one in threes, of course. This is always very good. Let's take the middle three fingers. And again, it's not about speed. It's about knowing the shape. That's all these exercises are for. So we've done A, spend a few days or weeks on that, watch the video a few times, get that shape into your mind, and know it away from the piano. I want to get to the point where we can have a conversation. I know a few people who I can do this with, some quicker than others, but eventually they get the answer, and that's the point. They can see on their internal piano. If I say, what's the sixth of F, you just see that it's D, you just know it. And then we might use D as the new starting note, and then I'll say 4. And then you'll tell me what D is the fourth of, which is A. And then we might use A, and I might say 7. And then A is the major 7 of B flat. And then you might say, so you'll say B flat, and then I'll say, okay, 4. And you'll go to the fourth of B flat, which is E flat. I want you to get to that point where you know each of these major scales so well that we can do that number game almost on a 1 second basis, like C, I go 4, F, like that, just bouncing off each other like a tennis game. So C, 4, like F, 2, G, and then say 3 B in the key of G, moving through them like this, just weaving all between them, because you can just see those 7 notes popping out. I can see the C, see the F, see the E flat, see the A flat, you know, they just pop out as 7 notes. That's of course why I'm doing this video collection for you, so you can get to that point. Unimaginable benefits for you, indescribable. So that's pretty good for the key of A. Next one, the penultimate, is D, just 2 sharps, upper 4th from A, but in the descending cycle of fifths. As always, if you'd like to comment, subscription is always welcome. Have a look at my books, blog and podcast, press that bell, and see you in the next video in D. All the best, and bye for now.